Hey guys, so here's the passenger side door for the OBS truck. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this skin out, the inner skin, so I can use it for the passenger side door of the OBS truck. So the idea is going to take this whole section out here, up through here, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim it, make it to fit on the OBS truck. And then I know when I did the skin on the driver's side, on the passenger side of the OBS truck, there's on this area of that door, I have to kind of take this piece out because the way it was designed, so I'm gonna have to weld that in. So it's all trial and error, and so I just want to show you guys, this is the door from the Cadillac Escalade. I used everything that I could to apply it to the OBS truck. I might use this piece as well for the harness. I don't think I took it out for the driver's side, or if I saved it, I don't remember, but I'll just have to drill a hole if I have to. And I was thinking about the brackets, well, not brackets, but the links to connect to the handle. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to modify that as well. So I'll have to go back and then check that out and see to modify that to make it work for the OBS door. So that, or I might do like a pop lock or something. I'm not sure yet. Right now I can open the driver's side door, but it is not connected. I just use a key to open it. So I'll figure it out after I modify it. But I just wanted to show you that this is real. I mean, it's not fake, and I'm doing it myself. And then also too, I have another job that I'm helping my son with that he wanted, so I'll probably do that on a separate video. But as you can see here, he's into Dodge, so we got some track hawk seats that he purchased, and he's taking out the stock seats that I had already put in. So these are the ones that came out of the Yukon or the Tahoe that I had, and they're both powered. The driver's side and passenger side are powered. I thought he was going to keep the truck the way it was and just repost it, but he wants he has a whole different idea, and so I'm helping him modify that. So we're going to get these seats fitted in there for the track hawk seats. And so I'm not sure, this might be the one first. I'm not sure if anyone's done it. This is the floor mat that's in the truck. He already stripped everything out of there. So he wants the track hawk seats. I'm not sure what he's going to put in the middle. and so I'm gonna help him modify those shock lock seats to fit in there. So I'll be the first one to do that. If not, I don't know if someone else has done it, but it's a lot of measuring and cutting and some welding. All right, so I'll get back to you guys. I might record a little bit of this because my SIM card is almost full. Let me see if I can go ahead and clear some of it out before I start. But I'll get right back to you. All right, see you in a bit. All right, guys. So this is the driver's side. So these holes here are the ones that were on the NBS door. So those have to come out, and then there's some welds here too as well on that door. And as you can see, I was talking about right here, it's got this heavy plate. It's actually from the OBS door. This plate right here is to the OBS door. New body style, if you guys don't know. I mean, old body style is the OBS. NBS is the 9906. So if you guys are confused, all right. So the idea on this one, I cut it to fit inside the OBS door. So already I started cutting. So I'm good on here. These are all, you can see right here, these are all the tack marks from the factory. Those have to come out because there's another skin under there. Unless I can cut through it, I still would have to separate it. So I might have to drill those out. I'll get right back to you. All right, so I got to drill these out in here. So that's pretty much the idea. Start with that and then get another bit. It's a lot better than this one because it's not really doing a dent. So, but you get the idea. I'm gonna go through all here. I'm gonna release some of those welds and then pull that skin off and get it ready for that for the OBS truck. All right, guys, give me a minute. All right, guys, little tip: use a smaller bit. Start off with a smaller bit. Get yourself started. So you can't see them here, but they look really good. There's one here, 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 there. It's gonna hold that section in that spot right. It's gonna hold that section down right there. So. All right, we got those. So I'll go ahead and change the bit. Large in the hole. I'm gonna go ahead and go through all the rest of them and get right back to you. All right, so I think I screwed up the original door that I did. I don't know, see if I could fix it, but I think I messed up this door here. I'll see if I can fix it. If not, I have another door. So okay, so see, I didn't drill though. I did it afterwards. So see these weld marks? That has the original strength from the NBS door. And then I had cut off the inner part of this door, of the OBS door. So I'm gonna scratch this and do it again, or I might see if I can fix this one. If not, see if I can weld in this piece onto the for the NBS door. So I might be able to weld in the NBS door into the OBS door, if that makes sense. I'll show you up here what I mean. Okay, so I might just have to replace that door and do it over. So I was looking over it again, and okay, so I mean, it's common sense. I just missed it, but okay, this is welded to a support that goes from that side of the door and this side of the door. So what I want to do is just take the skin part off of it, the first layer. There's other layers of metal underneath, the way the factory made it. And the reason why I'm taking this skin off is all the holes fit the door panels. So these square holes here fit the door panels. All these sensors, they all fit in that same area. And then the door panel has the switches for the remote, for the electrical part. So that's the idea, so that it could flow with the rest of the dash. Okay, keep in mind these doors are smaller from top to bottom and longer from left to right. So from here to here, this door is bigger on the OBS. You wouldn't think it is, but it is. These doors are a lot bigger from this point to this point. The door is longer compared to the MBS. The MBS door is shorter. If you don't believe me, tape measure. So we got, put that on there. Right there, it's about 49. All right, and then go measure on the GMC. So we got right there, it's about 47 and a half, maybe 5/8. All right, so that door is smaller from end to end. All right, so the idea is back over here is that I went ahead and drilled all the factory welds, as you can see there, and then I'm going to re-drill them with a bigger drill and pull that top layer off, and then this top layer is just going to be welded to the OBS door. And what I'm going to have to do here is modify this part here, cut this down. This section here has got to be cut down because, as you can see, it's hitting the door panel because the dash is wider than the OBS. And then you see what else. So I'm going to take this top layer off, and I'm going to stay within this area right here where it's kind of like concaved. This is concave, made for the OBS. There's a plate that goes here. You guys all know on the OBS there's a plate here, and it has the regulator and everything, or either manual, and that fits in and it screws into all these areas for the OBS door. So you could take that section out and replace it with a manual or either a power. It's a steel plate and has all the basically all the stuff you need to open the doors and the locks and whatnot, the linkages and everything. So on this one, I'm gonna cut this section here because this section here is in my way, and then that skin is gonna go pretty much into this area, and then I'm gonna cut this out here and then keep the back portion of the OBS door, and because that's the strength. So I'm just gonna cut this top layer off and then insert the NBS part in. All right, so I'll get back to you guys. All right, guys. So I cut the outside skirt here. As you can see, it's wobbly. Took that off. So all the factory welds, got them loose. So some are tacked on a little closer. Like they have a bigger weld, so they're holding on to sheet metal. So I had to drill these a little bigger, and it's going to start sitting on the metal. Pop those loose. So these ones, the weld are a little bigger. So I'm going with a larger bit on this one. stuff will come loose. There it goes, came loose. So right now I got, I believe these guys that are holding on to it. Gunshot. Firecracker. Alright guys, so here's the outcome of this door. Take a look at it. Alright, so turn this around real quick. Explain a little bit. So see all the holes over there? That's where all the tack welds were in the factory. So this strip right here is welded to this bracket here, and then this was welded to the skin that was on there, and this is the structure that keeps the support for that door. So the same idea for this door. It's the same thing going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the welds off here, take this layer skin because there's another piece underneath, keep that piece behind it, take this piece off, which is just this section here, and then cut this right here, and then that piece that I cut off the skin is going to go right in this insert, right in there. So this part of the skin. And then my son's working on cutting the what kind of chairs are those again? What kind of chair are these?
Track hawk.
Oh, track hawk seat. Cutting off the original brackets. For now, I'm gonna modify it. All right, I'll get back to you. Oh, battery's almost dead. All right, guys, real quick, just want to show you where I'm at right now. So we're already in the middle of the day, so to get an idea, that's the NBS skin. It's just sitting on top of the OBS, and then I got that vice script just sitting there. So that gives you an idea. So where these are at, this strip's gonna get welded to this piece here. So I'm gonna cut this. There's another layer behind there, so the top layer is coming off, and this is going to be welded on where these holes are at. I'll probably weld it where there's no holes, and then just tap right in here with the welder, and yeah, and so on and so on in the areas. Trim what I don't need, and I believe I have to trim some of the bottom, that OBS door. But yeah, but as you can see here on the panel, the dash comes out. Here's the pinch weld of the OBS, and it goes down, and then this is on the outside. So this has to come off. This section right here of the OBS has to come off. So it needs to sit more flat, like the driver's side. On the driver's side, on the OBS, what I did is I cut straight across, like right here, which is, that would be welded to the structure of that door. So so I just realized, I think I remembered, I figured that out later on, but now I'm looking again at it. I did mess that up. What I did was, because I was just gonna weld it right here, as you can see. It's gonna weld it right in here, so I didn't think anything of it, but the sheet metal is still on here, so you can see it right back there. It's still on this piece of metal here. As you can see, I didn't drill through those, so the structure of the NBS is still on there. Well, you live and learn. So it's all trial and error. I didn't know how this would come out, and you can see how I cut this here, and then in here in the door I cut the bracket, you can see in here. I cut into the cab because, like I told you guys, you're going to do a lot of modifications. I cut into the cab. When I first tried it, I wasn't sure, and I ended up figuring out that the dash was too low. That's why the pinch weld is cut here, but it's still welded here where the pinch weld's at. And then as for here, I went past the pinch weld right in the middle, and then I got some angle iron that's in the back there. It's welded to the actual cab, so it's like probably 6 inches, 8 inches from the top down, and it's welded from the inside here and then on into the back side of the cab. It's welded there, and that's where I'm able to mount the factory. See, these are the factory holes here, and as you can see back there, there's a factory hole right there from the NVS, and the one down here. See this bracket here? You can see there's this metal, that's like an aluminum bracket. That's the original bracket. See how wide it is? Now that aluminum bracket keeps the structure of this piece here, this plastic piece, and that plastic piece holds that panel right there, and then the panel covers the knee panel. So yeah, without that, I mean, if you cut into this, there's no structure. I mean, because it's a real thin plastic, there's no structure for this to hold up. So I did not want to ruin that at all, because to begin with, the factory, if that was to break, there would be no structure into all this plastic here on this side, and nothing to bolt down to. So you have to keep that in order to have strength of the plastic. You got to keep that aluminum piece. You cut into the aluminum piece, I think you just open a can of worms, because then you're gonna have to re-drill holes and figure out where you're gonna mount those holes. I mean, you probably could move it over some, but then now you've got a bunch of plastic that's loose and it's just wobbly. And as you can see here, these are just a lot of stitch welds. As you can see, it's not pretty, but it's there. It's strong. I mean, the dash is strong. It's in there. So I do need to go back and I believe mount a bolt that's try to mount a bolt. I put the bolt, but it's not welded, behind the dash on the very top, behind the cluster, that's bolted to the cab of the firewall. So in order to do that, I got to take everything back out and do it. So I had put everything in, mocked it up. I wanted to see the seats, because after getting the dash in was the seats, and then trying to figure out where the seats sat at. So that was the next thing. So I kept moving forward, and instead of going back and pulling the dash, because the dash is it's pretty solid, maybe just one or two, I think it's 2 more bolts that I need up there, and that's about it, and it'll be completely bolted down. But it's structurally it's in there. It's just probably 2 bolts missing from there, but everything else there, and then the grounds and everything. And as for the top skin towards the window, I had to scribe that. I had to scribe the piece. I put it in there, cut some more, put it in, cut some more. I put this piece in several times, probably like 50 times. I'd take it in and out just to scribe that glass in there, because just to make sure that it was super tight against the glass of the OBS. Yeah. And then after everything fit, I mean, after that fit and everything was in there, I was able to find out where I needed to scribe that, and then slowly but surely it started to work its way back and found its way, and then I was able to bolt it down to the actual dash. But yeah, that's the things I got to go through. My time is almost over. I got like 6% on here, but yeah, this is where I'm at right now. I'm gonna do some more, and then I still got to do the wiring, and I got to put that in and figure out where it's at, because it is longer. The NBS is longer. The NBS is longer from here to there. As you can see, it's past this, and right here is where the NBS panel needs to go in those holes. So I'm gonna have to trim some of that, trim the bottom of that. That's why I cut the panels on the NBS Cadillac NBS panels, because I'm gonna have to modify the bottom of it to shorten it. All right, guys. I'll get back to you. Talk to you later. Bye. Alright guys, so there we go. Got my Project Torque hat. These are awesome. I had this older one that I wear all the time. So this is it right here. So I got this one on the website, Project Torque website. Go check it out. They're really nice. And then I have, where is it? My tire shine. Where is it? Got it somewhere around there. Stuff's awesome. Shout out to Freddie. I must have put it away somewhere. I can't find it right now. This stuff looks really good. I mean, I spray my tires and they've been shiny. Don't have to spray them all the time. Lasts pretty long. I don't know where it went. Unless someone it walked away. That's probably what happened. It probably walked away somewhere. Because it was here. That or I misplaced it. Alright, so I want to show you guys on the OBS truck. So I know I got all you viewers are interested in the OBS truck. Here's the original door panel. You guys know, already seen. I cut it out. So after going back and figuring out what I did and what I could have done, so this is basically just learning as you go, because I've never done this swap before. So the idea is I pulled the skin off the NBS door, and so I'm going to peel partial of this door off. So I went ahead and tapped it with some smaller bits as it got larger, and then the welds are pretty strong, so keep in mind of that if you're going to do it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pop off the existing welds that are on there so I can separate these two pieces of metal. So the idea is I want to keep the factory sheet of metal on the back side of it, if you can see in the door. Along here. So I'm going to keep this part. And I'm going to cut somewhere, I think probably about an inch away from this indentation. It kind of goes down because I want to keep that. And then I want to follow across this like I did on that side of the door. And this indentation is going to help me put the shaded metal that I'm going to have from the NBS. So I'm going to fit that piece along here, or maybe just cut it right up to here, but I want to keep it right in here. And then this piece here, I'm going to cut here. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and do what I did on the driver's side door, which is cut partial of this. I'm going to take this section out. The reason I need to take this section out because the door protrudes past the cab. So this is why it doesn't work stock. It won't just fit in there. You got to make it fit. So I'm going to take this out, give it room, make this flat, because on the OBS door it has a piece that goes here on the door panel, and then it meets the dash, the original dash, which goes in more of the cab on the inside of this pinch weld on the stock dash. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to cut this portion out. I'm going to remove this section here, pretty much just this top section of the metal, so that I can butt up the NBS panel, and then I'm going to weld that in and go back to here, over here. So pretty much what I have going on right here on the driver's side, except instead of cutting this one, I end up cutting the actual door of the end of the OBS door, which is the old body style truck, which is this truck here. If you guys don't know, that's OBS stands for old body style, NBS stands for new body style from 99 to 06. So 99 to 06 sheet metal is going to be butting up to the OBS, which you can see here. I did not take those welds off. There's a second piece of sheet metal, which is the frame portion of it, which keeps the structure of that door. I cut it off here, which I could fix this here. I can always just take that skin off and then go ahead and brace it from here to here and go ahead and re-weld it, and it'll be secure, and just go ahead and keep using this door. Or I can use another door. I have spare doors that I keep. So that's the idea. And then the section here for the NBS, like you can see this section here on the NBS, this is where the plastic portions of the NBS, the 99 to 06, try not to get you guys lost, so I'm telling you the years. So on the section down there at the bottom on the NBS, there are plastic pieces, which are these pieces that fall into those holes. So on the bottom portion of this door, it's not going to fit, because on the OBS doors, they're shorter from top to bottom. They're not as long as the NBS, which is 99 to 06. So the NBS doors are longer from top to bottom. So there's more room from here to here. There's more room on the NBS 99 to 06. And then on the OBS, they're longer from end to end, from left to right. So from here to here, the OBS doors are longer, and that's like, I believe, 88 to 98, possibly 99, where they fall. And on these doors, they have a recessed piece that goes in, that, you know, all you OBS guys know that all these bolts here, see all these holes here, there's little, they screw in and they hold this metal plate that holds your contraption for either roll down or electric. So since you take that out, this is what you'll have if you take that portion out. This is what you're looking at if you remove that section. And then I removed that section, and this is what I have left. And that's what I'm working with right now. So the idea that I had to do this was kind of use the same idea that Chevy did back in the day from 88 to 98, which using that recess part that goes in here on the 99 to 06. They're welded doors together. The sheet metals are all welded together. There's no screws or anything like this style. So when I took it apart, I figured this is what I was going to go with. And then you can see here, this is a good idea. So anyone that's interested in wanting to do this, you're going to have to cut in the cab, so which I cut in here. But in the back side of this, there are angle iron pieces of metal that I have. They got welded bolts to hold the left and the right side in. And then in order to get the rest of it in, you have to keep the aluminum piece, which is this piece right here. It's back there. Down here you can see it better, which is this aluminum piece. You have to keep that aluminum piece. Well, otherwise, if you cut this plastic piece, it's going to be all wobbly and won't secure anything. Plus, this is where your fuse box is at, and partial of your panel that goes underneath your knee, the knee panel, knee bolster. I don't know what you call that, but it's that knee piece that goes right here, which is sitting over there on the chair. So, all right, so this is just a small clip of what I'm doing right now, and then I'll get back to you guys. I have to still cut that up. I just want to show you that where I drilled the holes. I'm not going to go through the process of me actually doing it. I want to get something done, some other stuff done. I have another video out that, reason why is because it slowed me down. I had to stop what I was doing on the OBS because my son wanted me to get his seats in, which I'm making another video for, which wasn't planned. So, and that's on the daily. we took out the seats that I had put in last year, which those were out of the Yukon. Those were power seats, and he's going with a Trackhawk seats that I had to fabricate the seats to fit in, and also fabricate the seat belts. So if you guys are interested in that kind of a swap, it's out of a Dodge Trackhawk and Jeep, I think Jeep Cherokee Trackhawk, and they're actual Trackhawk seats that he purchased. And then I went ahead and did the swap on that. I had no idea of what I was going to do on there, and just kind of figured it out. So if you guys are interested in that as well, check out the video. I can give you guys some ideas how I did it, and we'll just go on from there. But anyways, I've been messing with his truck for about a good 2 weeks, so I started working on the OBS, and then he asked me if I could do that, and so I couldn't concentrate on both, so I had to figure out his first. I got the passenger side in, and I got to do the driver's side later. We're waiting for a seatbelt for his, because unfortunately the seatbelt on the driver's side was no good, so he has to get a new seatbelt. And then then I had some stuff here that I had to get done at the house. I had to get the AC unit put in. There's just a lot of family stuff that, yeah, I had to just kind of put things aside right now and focus. And then I'm still working on the GMC truck as well. Unfortunately, I can't smog that one yet or I can't get a tag until next month. What's this? January, February, March, and in May, no, June. So I can't. June. I can't tag it till June, because otherwise I'll be paying for a whole year for just like a month or so. So I have to wait it out. I got that truck done sooner than I thought, and so now I'm jumping back on the OBS. And I told you guys I was going to bring you guys a video on that. I might take the dash apart and then show you like all the nitty gritty, all the ugly side of what I had to do to get it to that point where you guys see it now. But anyways, I'll get right back to you guys, and I am going to do this because I know I have a lot of viewers that are interested in that and possibly want to do it themselves. So yeah, if you have any questions on that, just ask me, and I can try to answer you as best as possible, as detailed. You're going to have to know some kind of fabrication work, or a friend or uncle or family member that knows anything about welding or fabrication. You should be able to do this. It's basically sheet metal. Mostly everything I used was a sheet metal welder. It's not the fanciest, because as long as it holds and it's strong. This truck here that I have, the OBS truck, is basically my Burnout truck, and as you can see, most Burnout trucks get thrashed inside the pit. Like I said before, this is a little bit more than what I wanted to do, but when I did the swap, I wanted to avoid taking it to a shop for them to do it. I wanted to do it myself, and I actually liked this dash better than I liked the original dash. Didn't want to use any of the harness from the 88. I mean, it's a 1990, so the dash is old, the wiring's old, and then I just didn't want to mess with it. By the end of it all, I wasn't really using much of the wiring harness out of the dash, because the LS motor doesn't need any of that. Basically everything that's on there wasn't working. AC wasn't working. The radio was working, kind of. I guess it was working, but I didn't care for the radio, the stock radio. Let me see. And since the AC wasn't working, the controls didn't matter. The cluster didn't matter, even though it had like less than 100,000 miles on it. I don't know if that was the true miles on that truck, because where I got the truck from, I don't know how many people have had it, so I didn't care to know if it was original or not. And so yeah, it's basically my Burnout truck. I'm not really worried about a show vehicle, and like I said, I know the dash is more of a custom, but it's going to be custom for me. It's for me, not for the public. So I will fix it up later. I think I might fix up the interior maybe just back to stock, or maybe I might get some custom seats. I don't know yet. Right now that I'm worried about is just it being a burnout truck. But I want to finish it up basically for you guys. So whoever's interested in it, they want to do it on their custom vehicle, they want a show truck, they can go ahead and do that themselves. This was something that I tried, and I was able to get it done. So anyways, all right, you guys comment, like, and subscribe. I'll get back to you guys on the rest of the video. All right, bye.